Hello and welcome. Warhammer Fest was over this last weekend, and so we're going to take a look at all the cool reveals that came out over the course of the week. Starting with the Leviathan Vox. I did make an individual video on this one already. If you'd like to check that out, there'll be a link in the description. But Leviathan Vox is really cool. Go ahead and zoom in here a little bit. But we have the new 10th edition box. This will have 25 Space Marines, 47 Tyranids, an exclusive rulebook, chapter-approved mission deck, and a Space Marines transfer sheet. Personally, as somebody who plays both these armies, I'm really excited for this. I'm not super sold on, like, the Dreadnought. It's cool. I like the boxier Dreads more. But I love just about everything else. I love that Lieutenant. I love that Apothecary. Love that Librarian and Terminator armor. And I adore the Tyranid side of the box. It looks super cool. We'll just do a short rundown through these pages here because there's a lot of other stuff that we haven't covered yet on the channel that I'm really excited to get to. We have like the Captain and Terminator armor, Librarian and Terminator armor, the Apothecary Biologist, the Lieutenant in Phobos armor. We have the Stern Guard veterans, Terminator squad. I almost called them Termies again, and the Infernus squad, which I'm really excited for. I play Blood Angels for my Space Marines, and I think they're going to be really effective there. And then, of course, the Ballistus Dreadnought. It looks cool. I like it. I would like this a lot more if it was shorter, but it's trying to be like a Redemptor, and I get that. It's cool. I like it. I just like short Dreadnoughts more. Then for the Tyranid side, we have the Winged Tyranid Prime. We have the Neuro Tyrant, and I love this sculpt so much. We have the Screamer Killer. We have Von Ryan's Leapers. We have the Termagants, the Neurogaunts, and the Barbgaunts. And finally, the Psychophage. I love the Tyranid side of this box. It looks so cool. I love them all. Of course, the core rulebook, you're gonna want that, right? But all that stuff I think is also gonna be online. So there's that. And then there's a Leviathan book coming out for it as well, which is nice. And then we have the roadmap for the codexes, which is summer will have Leviathan, and then autumn will have Codex Tyranids, Codex Space Marines. Winter will have Codex Adeptus Mechanicus and Necrons, and then spring 2024, Dark Angels, Orcs, Adeptus Custodes, Tau Empire, and Chaos Space Marines. Codexes are, I'm sure, going to give you the rest of the information that the indexes don't at the start of 10th edition. Not super stoked to the idea of buying more codexes. Codexes are expensive, but the rules will probably be online, you know. So just throw that out there. So yeah, that's Leviathan, right? After that, we had the Space Marine side, the Tyranid side. We already looked at that, the books and cards. The lore is getting the book, right? We have some Warhammer Underworld stuff. I don't play Underworlds personally, but it looks cool. And what I like about this the most is these four ghost guys that all travel together with the sword, a sword that I believe Nagash made. That is just, yeah, they're the executioner. It's the wielder of the blade. It's the one that gives you your sentence. It's, hey, here's your crimes. It's the one carrying the chopping block. And it's the one that sharpens it. And I really like that. I think that's really cool. That's really fun. I don't play Underworlds, but it makes me want to. We have the Cord Box for Weird Hollow coming out, as well as the Organized Play in the spring. Summer Headman's Curse, which is what we were just looking at, as well as an updated starter set. So maybe that's my chance to get into it. And then a Rivals deck in summer as well, followed by a new Warband, Chaos, a new Core Box with 2 new Warbands in autumn, a new Destruction Warband in winter, and new Rivals deck. That's cool. I like that. Nifty. Then we have one of my 2 favorite models that was shown off in all of Warhammer Fest, which is the Get Off the Road diorama, which has the Black Rider, the Nazgul, riding by as the hobbits underneath. And in a really cool way, you can pull the Nazgul off of the base so that you could use it as a mini. You could proxy it as something else. You could get bash it, I guess, if you wanted, or you can use it in Battle for Middle-earth as well, which I think is just really cool. I like that a lot. That's such a cool little diorama to have of a great moment in the series. After that, we have some Warcry stuff, which, again, I don't play Warcry either. I'm sorry. But this looks cool. This is more Stormcast Colonels, of course. And from an outside perspective looking in, this one looks really cool. I like Stormcast. That's a cool idea. the person, the hero, as it were, that dies and is pulled back again by Sigmar himself and put back into a body. This skull helmet's a little weird. I haven't seen any other Stormcast that have like the white skull. It's always like the gold. That's new to me. But the bear paw is cool. I like the sword. Bear paw there too. Yeah, they just is that like a lion head over the top there and on the pauldron? That's nifty. I like that. These are cool looking minis, you know. And then the other half of it is Royal Beast Flayers. I don't know anything about these, but they look really cool. I love the knee pads. I love the bristles, I'm guessing. Not like a Gorgrunta style. I don't know what these are, and they're horrifying, and I love them. They look great. And then these, I mean, you know, sure. I don't know anything about this faction, so this is completely separate for me, but they look cool. And that also comes with some Gurish terrain. I love this Ziggurat. This Ziggurat looks so cool. I want to get this board for kill team games. You'd have to put some more like barricades down and stuff, but oh, that would be great. I love the bridges and the way you climb up to it from there. It looks great. It's really cool. I should get into Warcry. So, Nightmare Quest, Flesh Eater Courts versus Stormcast Eternals is this spring. Then a new starter set for new players in the summer. Again, maybe that's my end. 4 new warbands for Order versus Destruction in autumn. 2 new warbrands for Order versus Death in winter. And then 2 new warbrands for somebody in spring. So that's cool. Then we have the free guild Cavaliers for Age of Sigmar. These people look great. I really want to get into Age of Sigmar. I also don't play Age of Sigmar, but I really love the Seraphon, and I really love the Skaven, and I play Vermintide too. So it's sort of, I mean, it's adjacent, right? These models look really cool. I love the antlers of the helmet above there. Is that supposed to be a raccoon or a fox? I'm not sure. They look cool. I love the mounted knights. Look really nice. And it seems like there's supposed to be newer versions of these, which, yeah, I like this design a lot. These definitely fit in more with what I expect from Sigmar. These are like Old World, right? Really like a lot of the details there. They look really cool. Then we have the Dawnbringers. And we're going to get to this because this is great. This is my favorite model that was announced this week. This model is incredible. This is a Harbinger of Decay. I love this. From the sign with like the moss over the top of it, or the decay, the pus over the top of it, the rock they're standing on. This just screams Nurgle. This screams corruption. I love this. And the variant that has the bell up there is really cool. Scythe is really nice. I like both helmets a lot. I like the horn more on this one, but this helmet's really cool with the fetid, bloated horn. It looks great. I love this model. This model's incredible. Following that, we have Surgerian. I'm assuming this is the Marrow Scroll Herald. Looks really cool. Did this one get a name like that? Yeah, Flugoth the Miser. I missed that. I love it even more with that. Surgerian looks interesting. I dig it. The scythe it's cool. The flesh hanging down, that's cool. It's not as cool to me as the mounted one, but it still looks really cool. Then we have Fury, Grimhold Exile. Fyreslayers for me are a faction that I just don't really aesthetically like all that much. I like the idea of dwarves that just have like giant red hair and they love fire. That's cool. When I see a table full of Fyreslayers, almost always I just see a table full of shirtless dwarves. I'm like, okay, sure. I'm sure they have some cooler stuff. I think they have like salamanders they can use, so that's cool. But I don't know. This is interesting. And for Fyreslayers, this is probably a really cool model. It doesn't really do much for me. And then Braggett Big Talka is such a cool model. It's a little grot from the Gits, and he's got this giant skull on him, which is a squig skull headgear. And he's just, yeah, He's like a little red cap, and I love him with the squig bats above him. Bat squigs. Yeah, there you go. I love him. He's great. And then we get these heralds here, as they were, as you could say, with the boxes they're going to come in, I assume. And we get this first box here that looks really cool. Again, I don't play AOS, so I don't know how good this box is. But just from a sheer, like, I'm sitting back here from an external perspective, it looks really cool. Most of these models I could probably use in a Death Guard army without too much changing up. Give them a bolter or even keep them melee, honestly. These are the Maggotkin of Nurgle, I believe. They look sick. And then, of course, we have Flugoth there, which looks incredible. I don't know what army this is, but it looks cool. I wish there was a little bit more variation in the color scheme, because they just look like ghouls. Maybe that's what they are, but could be all right. You may say, why even cover this if you don't know anything about Age of Sigmar? Because the models are cool. I don't have to play AOS to look at how cool the models are. And then Fire Slayers, like I said, they got some cool stuff. I like the cannon up here. Or is that a Warhorn? That might be a Warhorn. The axes look really cool, but it's really hard for me to differentiate the models, personally. Maybe I just need to know them better to be able to see that. And then the Gets. You got all your different squigs, and they're each distinct and cool. You have the Gits, Grots. They're all cool. And you have the Squig Hoppas, I think is what they're called. Squig Jumpas. Very cool. Like them a lot. This is a cool army. And if I played AOS and I wasn't all in on Seraphon or Skaven, Gits is probably what I would do. Then, of course, we have Summer Battle Tomes coming for Harbingers and Seraphon. Which I guess Seraphon, the Harbingers is a supplement. But then we have Siege of Sigmar and Book 2 of Dawnbringers and Book 3 of Dawnbringers. And then finally we have another book. No real information. And Book 4 of Dawnbringer. After that we have the Iron Jaws Maw Grunta. Look at this boy. Look at him. He's so cool. Got the little bit of snot coming out of his nose there, and he got the stuff attached to his horns and the blades, his hooves. Got a little guy on the back here getting ready just to swing when anything comes within range. I assume there's one on the other side as well, but maybe not. I love the chains. I love the guy up top. This is a really cool looking model. They knocked it out of the park with this one. This is great. A war boar for the Oryx. Then we have some stuff for Horus Heresy, specifically the Serastis Knight. I really like this Knight style. You can run this with either Imperial Knights or Chaos Knights, I believe. I really like this Knight style with the big lance, shield, overhanging hood over top of the armored face, which makes it seem like, you know, this is a hooded champion. I like it a lot with the pennants hanging down here. This is a really cool Knight. I don't remember if they show it here or if I just saw it on the Reddit, but there's like a older version of this Knight that this one, in my opinion, is a much better improvement on. And you can see the pilot in there. That's cool. You flip up the little deal and the pilot's in there. And I really like that. That's a fun detail. Then we have, for Horus Heresy, Baron Ashuradan and Evander Garrus. And so we have Ashuradan here. Really cool. Like this design a lot. Nice change up on the beaky helmet. I will clarify, I love the beaky helmet. But I really like this change up on it. And then just the eye down here, eye up here with the skulls, the axe, the blade looks great. The eye symbol here looks really good. Master of the True Sons, commander of the Sons of Horus and Invadement Fleet, Bashan, that's how words work. Very, very cool. Lots of fun detail, and of course you can have him without a helmet. And then we have Lord Castellan Evander Garius, who obviously that's a fist if I've ever seen one. Really, really cool design. Really like this design. I need to try and get into Horus Heresy, but all the Space Marines I have are Primaris, so that's a problem. But I really like a lot of the Horus Heresy designs. They look really cool, and I could get a Sanguinius in Horus. But this is all, of course, about the Siege of Chthoniya, which is a really big, important moment in the Horus heresy, and very cool. Very, very cool. Love the cape with the extra layers on there. The bear claws, it looks like. Really, really cool model. Like that a lot. That might be a fun one to kit bash as a chapter master, my successor chapter of Blood Angels. We have the Path Ahead, which is a plastic assault squad for Horus Heresy. So interesting that we get to see what seems to be like the STL version and not the actual like printed version. But maybe they just didn't get them printed in time because they're just a little bit too glossy to be the actual gray plastic. But that's cool. I mean, jump packs are important. They should probably have those. Then we have, of course, in plastic, the Vindicator Siege Tank. And in resin is, unfortunately, Evander Garius and Varen Ashuradon. So I don't really like messing with resin too much. I'm very much a plastic kind of guy. But the Knight Lancers in plastic and new characters and upgrades are coming in resin in the summer. Then we have in the autumn, Warlords of War, a Dreadnought, and an Armor Mark Armor Mark update for plastic, and a Primarch's coming in resin. Then we have a Mystery Army release and an Assault Squad in plastic in winter, new characters and upgrades in resin, Legion Command Squad and melee weapons in plastic, and characters and upgrades resin. We have a little encoded transmission here, which is, we'll go ahead and check that out. We got different legions here, of course, and banned legions. All right. Again, I don't know a lot about Horus Heresy and how that runs, but that's cool. Before that, so then we have some Warhammer The Old World stuff, which I didn't think was coming back, but I'm glad it does, because look at how good these models are. Look at this guy. And on the little square, like this redone Warhammer The Old World stuff is really cool. I love this Tomb King a lot. The Kopesh and everything. That's really cool. And then here we have a Bretonnian Knight, I believe is what it's called. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Look at, with the sword down in an orc head. Antlers. That is a cool redone mini. I like those a lot. I'm not planning on getting into Warhammer The Old World, but that's cool. Then we get the stuff that's really exciting for me as a mainly kill team player. That's what I play most of the time. The Ashes of Faith box. We'll go ahead and check out the trailer. Why not? Kilty. Join the hunt for heretics.
Long have I hunted
Yeah.
the sons of the dark gods.
Yeah.
My agent
It's Inquisitor time.
not even the darkest.
I love that Chaos Cult too, honestly.
Shelter to the traitor
Player
and
support.
the heretic. For those who follow me, bring the God Emperor's light and vengeance with them.
Very cool. New way to play. Yeah, no, I'm very excited. Ooh, I didn't get to watch the whole trailer earlier. So we have in the box, we get to see our Chaos Cultists, our Dark Commune, our Cultists, Dark Commune, Mutants and the Torments. Then we have the Inquisitorial Agents, Tempestus Scions, and the Sisters of Silence. So this is a really interesting box when we're looking at Kilty, because this is a non-seasonal box. This is not like Season 3. This is a separate narrative box, specifically for narrative campaigns, so there is more you can do with it, because you can still play them in match play, of course. But it's the Inquisition and the Forces of Chaos, specifically Chaos Cultists with a Dark Commune. And unfortunately, it looks like you can't build all of the Inquisitorial Agents, which kind of sucked, but some of these are still really cool. The Cross Blades one is cool. I really like this pistol in the air with the eye patch. Of course I do. I love eye patches. And the closed book. I love this guy with the halberd and the he looks like a Katakan or Katachan. Just really, really cool. I like that a lot. That's a cool looking guy. Both of these are cool, I think. The one holding the staff and Shotgun Boy. I think those are really cool. And then look at this. Look at both of those are sick. And look at the Auto Savant. That's so cool. No, it's very good. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And of course, the Gun Servitor. The Inquisition team looks really cool. And I can't wait to see how they play. I can't wait to see some data sheets. You also get some Khazarkin with them, which is nice. Not Khazarkin, I'm sorry. Tempestus Scions. I'm thinking about Khazarkin because you can also, and you get Sisters of Silence, which is great. You can sub in, instead of bringing Tempestus Scions, or instead of bringing Sisters of Silence, you could bring Khazarkin, Navy Breachers, Arbenis, or Vet Guard, which is awesome because you can deputize them. And I love the way that really mixes up how the team can play, because a lot of people will go, well, they're all Imperial teams, so they're all playing about the same, and that's just not true. If you count in the shelling that the Vet Guard get, which I assume they're not going to get deputized here, and the way that the Sisters play compared to Khazarkin and Scions, it's a different game in a lot of ways, even though it's mostly shooting with some solid melee. And when you add that into what the Inquisition, I assume, is going to be able to do, there could be some really fun mix-ups there. But for all the ways I've sounded excited about that, that's not what I'm most excited for. I'm most excited for these. The Dark Commune. Cultists, those models are sick. And I missed the previous Dark Commune box. And then the Cultists themselves, yeah, those may be the Cultists that you've seen all the time. But I never purchased the Cultists, so they'll be new to me, and they look really cool. And they could be run with some of the other kill teams as well. And I say some of the others, it's not a lot, but this is where they get really cool. They can grow into a mutant or a torment. And I love these models. These look so good. We're going to zoom in a little bit more here. Look at these. Where they've just like mutated and twisted with the power of chaos into these horrible abominations. And some of these models we'd already seen, but just, oh, they look so good. So good. We also get cards, which are narrative cards that allow you to do some other cool stuff. But you can also use them with other kill teams if you want to run your campaign with those instead. Narrative play is something I've been wanting to get into for a while. And so I'm really excited about this box because it'll give even more options for that. And also both kill teams seem really cool. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any terrain, so I hope it's a little bit cheaper. But we'll see. It's probably not going to be cheaper. This is Games Workshop we're talking about. Then we have Warhammer Heroes, which is a new, I say new, it's not a new thing. It's a thing they've been doing for a little while now, where you can get a random box almost, because you buy the box and you get a random mini out of it. I got one for Blood Angels back in the day, when they did the Space Marine Heroes for Blood Angels. And I haven't built him yet, but I got the Tuamani. Probably should have built him by now. Honestly, probably could use him in my army. But the point is, this is a chance for you to get a single mini to either build to add to your army or to use for proxy or anything like that. It gives you options, right? Now, this time we're looking at a few interesting minis, but ones that you might already have, right? Assault Intercessors. You've got the Gravis Armor. You've got the Eliminator and the Eradicator. So you might already have these, but you can buy the entire set, I believe, and get them all for sure. So that's cool. That's nifty. But it doesn't mean commanders are coming back from previous edition Kill Team. Then finally, we have the next season of Kill Team. What it's going to be, which is not, we'll watch the trailer, but there's not a lot of information in it. Just seems to be a world, Eldari presence detected, and deploy infiltration unit. So it might be a death world. A lot of people are hoping for Catachan, but we'll see. Some Eldari probably in the first box, but we don't know for sure yet. Then we're getting Gallowdark for the season finale, and Ashes of Faith sometime in spring. Then in summer, we'll get the individual team releases for the ones that haven't come out yet, I assume. And then the Kill Team Annual in summer. I wish we could get some compendium team updates with that. We probably won't, because we still don't have a bespoke like Tyranid team at all, or Death Guard. But it's fine, I guess. Then we'll get a new season in autumn, part 1 of it, and part 2 in winter. I'm assuming we're looking at Death World, and so Eldari versus Scouts, or Eldari versus Catachan could happen. I know a lot of people are thinking that it's probably going to be like a new bespoke Craft World Eldar team, and that would be cool. I also would love to see Exodites, but I don't think that's going to happen. A Nids team would be really great. That would be wonderful. Von Ryan's Leapers would make a great Nids kill team, I assume. But we'll see. I think most likely it's going to be Space Marine Scouts and Craft World Eldar for the first box. And then from there, who knows, right? There's so many options. I would love to see a bespoke Tyranid team or a bespoke Death Guard team. Even though I love my Tyranids and I love my Death Guard kill teams. But we've got bespoke for most of the factions at this point. And it's just weird that we still have some that haven't. But that's Warhammer Fest. Let me know your thoughts on all these different reveals in the comment section down below. And what were you most excited for? What kind of didn't excite you too much? And what game that I don't play should I play? But until next time, I've been Trey. This has been The Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Warhammer Fest has to offer.